There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all well on this, believe it or not, sunny day up here in Dumfries. So I'll bring the guys in, and today we have got Mark, the gentleman wood turner, and we've got JP work. I did put an invite out to Andy, but Andy might be a bit busy, and I put an invite out to Dale as well, and Dale is definitely busy. Dale's stuck in a flaming meeting at the moment, so right, I'll just put you guys back in the background. Change the camera onto the side view. Oh no, it hasn't bleached out. It's okay. Now, I was going to be doing some colouring with Joe Sonia's paints today, using a different technique for putting the paint on. I had a bit of practice this morning using a plastic fork, believe it or not, for putting the paint on. But then I turned it wasn't working. I need some more practice doing that. So I was going to use a different technique. But then I turned all the black back off because I was having a practice on here. Turned all the black back off, and I noticed all the ripple in this piece of ash. So the vertical lines you can see here, that's the actual grain of the horizontal lines you can see here is the ripple going through the wood. So rather than cover all that up with ebonizing lacquer and Joe Sonia's paint, I am going to colour it, but I'm going to be using Hampshire Sheen intrinsic colours.
Very nice.
I'm going to be using probably 4 colours. I'll be using the black, ruby, flame, and honey. Using airbrush, so we'll see how we get on. So if you guys can let me know who's out there in the chat.
Go for it, Mark.
Okay. So first in, back at the top spot, Wood Wizardry by Colin. Then we've got Ian B, Malcolm Douglas, Robert Nye, Barry Fisher, John S, Lawrence Bugaja, Mark Pritchard, Dr. Bob, Tommy's Workshop, Some Dusty Blokes and Dude, Barry Fisher, Gerard the French Turner, Robert Nye, Mike the Midnight Joker, Die Proud, Fred Gilliver, Circular Wood by Keith, Steve Ash, Lerner Turner, Colin Izzard, who else? TJ Turnin, Jennifer Stroughton's in. Hello, Jennifer. Taking him his coffee yet?
She's put a comment in, she did.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's all right then.
Mike Hugh, Hobbywood Turner. Robert Dolman.
Well, a lot of people out there.
Yeah. Robert, Hodgepodge Woodworks.
All right, I'll get rid of the rest of the flats once I start shaping it.
I'm not even halfway down the list yet. Who else? Anybody else new? Chris Dodds. Greg Gilliver. Clive Rogerson. Brent Beecroft. Fucking Owls. Dixon Shed. Dennis Beamish. Leroy 500, Frog and Thorogood, Tom Canada, and I think that's everyone. Harry McDill. Hi, Harry. If I missed you out, I do apologise. There's a lot of you. 65 in rank.
My God. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming along. I was that busy messing about with bloody paints this morning, I forgot to sharpen my gouge.
But you've got a Pro Edge, it'll only take a few seconds.
Sacrilege. Now, if you had used carbides, all you've got to do is spin the tip round. Just saying.
Yeah, but the real reason that I don't sharpen my gouges is because it takes up a bit of time.
Hello, Keith.
Right, Keith?
Hello, everybody.
It makes such a difference having a sharp gouge.
It does a bit.
So,
now, there's a thought, Jamie, about carbides.
uh-oh.
If you pinch the diamond belt for the Pro Edge of Steve, you know the one that used to belong to Glyn?
Yeah, the one that Steve's got, yeah.
The one that Steve's, would you be able to sharpen carbides on that?
So, it's been known that people have done it. I would personally recommend not doing it because they would never be the same as from factory.
Yeah.
People have been known to do it to prolong the life a little bit longer. But like I said, I would personally not recommend doing it. They tend to become a bit scratchy and a bit grabby towards the end of their life. And obviously no woodturner likes to catch, if you know what I mean.
Rob CP's in. Hi, Rob.
And that's also a way of telling a good carbide from a bad carbide. Because there's many varieties. A good carbide will obviously cut through the wood. A bad carbide, you can tell because it will scratch the wood as opposed to cut through it. You feel like best way of describing it was running your fingernails along a chalkboard. That's kind of the same. That's kind of the same effect you'd feel.
Grand.
So, also, going off the subject of carbide, in 15 days, we'll be hosting the 4th Virtual Craft Festival. So that's on the 30th of January. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time until 2 a.m. UK time the following day. So yeah, that'd be good. So myself, Mark, and Wayne will obviously all be part of that. Which it starts on my channel at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then on Cole Jacobson's channel at 1 o'clock in the morning the following day. Where there's electronics on there, there's pottery, there's glass blowing, there's resin pouring, there's resin mixing, there's Andy Berkey. You never know what he's going to be up to. There's all sorts. Obviously, there's wood turning on there as well. Scroll sawing with Mr. Dale Kirkwood, and possibly scroll sawing with Size Corner as well. So I'll quickly run through the people that's on there because I can't tell you exactly what they're going to be doing. So you got myself, Mark the Gentleman Wood Turner, Chris Smith, Dale Kirkwood, Terry from TJ Turnings, Heidi Jacobs, Anarchist Costas, Stuart Barini, Wayne Clasper, obviously the person you're watching now. We have Mixed Media Girl, Jake Thompson, Art of Fire, Andy Berkey, Ken Moon, Size Corner, and finishing up with Cole Jacobson. That's the 30th of January, 2021.
We've got a couple of new names in the chat. Bruce Hage and who's the other one? David Pinkford. So, first time here. Welcome along, guys.
Thanks for taking the time to come and watch.
Pete from Twisted Trees is in as well. Barry's wood turning. Doug Miller at Wood Spun Round. Good invention last night, Doug. Very interesting.
The Virtually Crafty website's not been updated yet. No. So it's not me that does the website. It will be done soon though, Pete. The person that does the website's been pretty busy as of late, but it will be done soon. Rest assured. That's a nice looking piece of wood there, Wayne.
Thank you.
Wayne, can I have a quick mention of tonight?
Yeah.
Don't forget, everybody, tonight is the Battle of the Makers online quiz. Wayne and Huey are one team, and we've got the Klondike Craftsman and Joe Senior in the second team, and it's going to be at 7:45 on SK Crafts YouTube channel. Here's the link. I am the adjudicator. Steve from SK is the host. General knowledge quiz, bit of fun, few laughs, a lot of laughs actually. And tonight is the decider between the two teams because they're one apiece. So this will be best of three decider to see who takes
Best of
first.
three. They've brought in a bloody ringer.
All payments could be made to Mark at the General Woodturner at paypal.com.
Yeah. all bribes properly received.
The dude from Bude at PayPal.
Seems to be the thing to be doing recently. Pop along, have a laugh. The chat can get involved as well. If you're in the chat, you can answer questions, and I take a note of who's answered the most, and at the end of the year, somebody from the chat will receive a prize. Might just be a biscuit, but it'll be a prize.
Will it be a hobnob?
Could be a hobnob. Could be a custard cream. Trevor Durant's in. Hello, Trevor.
Hello, Trevor.
Right, that was the 120. I'll be taking this up to 400, seeing as how I'm using stains.
Dice said, sorry this is a bit late, had to get... Oh, it's disappeared on me. Saturdays are our normal posting day at Making a Better Life. I'm going to post, but not as a premiere. If you send me the link, a list, I'll include it. If you want to shoot me an email or message me on Facebook, I'll send you the roll call and all that kind of stuff. If you contact me somehow, some way, I'll send you all the information you need to know, mate.
And just get rid of some of the dust on here.
Colin's got a question.
Yeah.
Colin is odd. I've been hobby turning for 2 years. I sharpen freehand with a little whetstone. If I got the Pro Edge, would tools stay sharper longer?
Wouldn't that matter on the steel?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it would be to do with the steel, but the thing that you will get, Colin, is a consistent edge or a consistent bevel. That's what you will get, because that's one of the main things that the Pro Edge is all about. It's the consistency of the sharpen. Right, I'm just going to rub it over with methylated spirits or denatured alcohol.
You said it wrong, Wayne. It's denatured alcohol.
Denatured alcohol. There was a question there from Colin, JP, for you. Can replacement easy wood cutters fit other chisels? I was thinking of getting some from my chisels.
Some of them can. I know there was, I can't remember what it was now. I believe that the square one is usually a little bit smaller, I believe, than some normal standard ones. The circle one and the number one hollower and the diamond one are normally normal sizes. Yeah, I think it was a square one.
A lot of it depends on the size of the set screw that's used.
Yeah, the screws are really, really small on the Easywood tools.
Steve Wilson and Barry's Wood Creations are both in. Sorry we missed you, Barry. Steve says, I missed a few of these recently, but glad to be tuning in again.
Cheers, Steve. Right then, what am I doing? Oh, come
And
on.
David Miller's in, says he's sorry for being late. He's already standing in the corner. Good.
Good boy, good boy. Naughty step,
done.
naughty step.
You're all learning. Well done.
Right, oh, bugger. Bloody stain everywhere now.
Oh, no. Are you joking, man?
You're joking!
Had a mouthful of coffee then, you bugger.
Right, turn the speed right down.
What you need, Wayne, is a little box to keep all those colours in. And that wouldn't happen.
I made one of them.
Did you paint it black?
It's called a shelf. Right, what I'm going to try and do with this, apart from getting it all over me flaming hands, is I'm going to try and feather this out so it's going to be fairly light around about the middle here, and then it'll get darker as it goes towards the edge. And I'm doing it on the opposite side of the bowl. It doesn't really matter with this one because I am going to be probably colouring the rim of this as well. But if I did it here and came around this way, you can actually get overspray onto the top. Whereas if I do it at the other side, you tend not to get any overspray, apart from going onto the lathe. I'm going to hold this a fair way back to start off with.
Baz is in. Hello, Baz.
Take it up close. Now that's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do for the black. Some of that will get sanded off, but I'll just get me hot air gun.
So how comes you didn't go right to the base with the black then, Wayne?
Because the what I'm going to be doing in here and coming out towards the edge is that I'm going to be sort of in the center part is going to be honey. Then it's going to be cream, and then it's going to be ruby.
Right, okay, I gotcha.
Okay, and I'm going to try and feather them in using the airbrush.
Mark Stroughton is awake. I mean, here.
I hope he's enjoying his coffee.
Robert Dolman says, hello, Mark. Got enough liquid?
I think that's to Mark Stroughton.
Doug Miller says, thanks to everyone who has subbed. I'm up to 108 now.
Oh,
brilliant.
Very good, Doug. Very good.
Brilliant.
Well done. You get your custom URL now.
Your custom URL.
Right, what I'll do, I'm going to sand some of this back. But again, what I'm going to do, I'll probably do some hard sanding at the centre here, and then lighten off the sanding, so I keep a fair bit of this black at the outside.
Welcome, Drilly.
Good old Drilly.
And hopefully, I
Ooh,
think
look at that.
you can see on this
That's
area
nice.
here where the black stain has actually gone into the ripple, and that's the type of thing that I'm looking for. You can see
Yeah.
it there as well.
Steve Fleming wants to know, what wood is it, Wayne?
It's a piece of ripple ash, Steve. I'm going to just take a little bit more of the black off here so I can get some more of that coming through. There we go.
Very nice.
So what I'll do now is go
Lewis
on.
is in. Hello, Klondike Crossman.
Hello, Lewis.
I'm going to go on to using the honey next. Now, what I've got on my airbrushes, don't know if you can see, yeah, I've got a quick release clip, so I can have different different airbrushes set up with different colours in. Let's test that one.
Yeah, I've got one of
Oh,
them
yeah.
for mine.
And now what I'll do, turn that down again.
Yeah. Want to see my quick release?
Yeah.
Trevor Doran says, question, does anyone have any problems with those sanding pads coming unstuck, and what's the best fix?
Are you talking about the actual sanding pad? Because if you're talking about the sanding pad, what you can get are these. You can get these. You can buy these from Simon Hope, and they are replacement pads. And what it's got a piece of, that's not a new one, that's an old one. I've got any new ones anywhere. Yeah, I've got some new ones here. So I'll just show you. So what it's got the hook on one side and like a felty type on the other side. So that goes straight onto the original. You can get these that have got adhesive on there, so it'll actually stick onto the original arbor. That's what it's called.
One of the problems you might be having, Trevor, is if you're applying too much pressure or you're running the lathe too fast, the arbor heats up and it basically breaks down the glue and then it comes unstuck. So have a try to think about turning the speed down on the lathe and maybe not pressing so hard when you're sanding.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that arbor, the sanding arbor, to get hot, because then the glue will give. But they can be replaced.
A couple of questions. One from Barry Le Pedantic. He says, why are they called airbrushes when they don't brush?
Because they use air to brush, Barry.
Just say the word, Wayne. We'll ban him.
Dennis says, what grit of sandpaper do you use to feather the black? Thanks, Dennis.
400. I finish when I'm doing staining. In fact, when I'm doing painting as well, I tend to finish at 400. If I'm using Yorkshire grit, because you can use Yorkshire grit when you colour, you only need to go to 240, then use Yorkshire grit, but then you use methylated spirits to clean off the residue of the Yorkshire grit before you colour. But I sand to 400, and I use 400 to knock the black back as well. So I'm going in with some flame now. I'll just turn
96 watching, Wayne.
Excellent, thanks, guys. Yeah, we're starting to get Now I've got the airbrush a fair way back at the moment, so I'm getting a very, very fine spray. And then I'm going to finish off using the ruby. Oh, I have to leave that gun on.
Tell you what, I'm glad Mark ain't picking these colours. He'd be sanding it all off.
Don't you dare! Don't you even, JP! You mongrel, you! How dare you! I will so get you back for that one.
Right, I'm quite happy with that.
You kids. That was good.
Barry said, got excited when Wayne said flame. Let down.
I see Barry made a mistake last night. I can't remember if he's totally cocked up his pyro machine or what, but he said he'd gone too far.
You'll be excited on one of my next videos, Barry. I actually catch a bowl on fire. Properly catch it on fire. I was half tempted to turn the lathe on with it on fire, but I didn't.
Mark, in Steve's live last week, when Martin was on,
Yes.
did Martin tell him to burnish before the sand and sealer or after? I can't remember.
Before.
Before.
I think.
Grant, okay.
Steve Fleming says, afternoon, JP, keep winding Mark up.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Cheers. Thanks for that. Thank you. He doesn't need any encouragement.
Martin Saban-Smith was guest earworm on Steve SK's live last Thursday. Was last Thursday? No, last Friday. And he recommends burnishing with shavings before you put the sand and sealer on.
Yeah,
Now,
because it can denib it.
Burnishing with shavings is not something new. This is the way that people, when I first started turning, this is the way that people actually finish the bowls off.
Before sandpaper was invented.
Before decent sandpaper was invented.
Nick the Flaming Turner's in. He says, howdy all. Would have been earlier, but sorting the kids out with the homeschooling.
There we go. Right, now I'll do some just acrylic sand and sealer.
Right, Nick. Brian at Hotwood Turning's in. Hi, Brian.
Hello,
Hey, Brian.
We're lathe friends, we are.
Because you've got the safe lathe, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're lathies.
Yeah, Ben, I take it you're talking about the sanding disc that Pete was on about yesterday in his live. I did check the link. The one I bought when I bought it was $11.99, but it is the same one, and it's now £15. It has gone up, I'm afraid, but that is the same one that I've got.
Right,
Everything's gone up in price.
They have, yeah.
what I'm going to use on this, seeing as how I've already burnished it and I've just put the sand and sealer on.
Yes,
going
Adam,
to
that's right.
I love wood turning. Adam, who just made a good point. He said burnishing. He says, I believe you should always use the shavings from the piece you just turned, as different woods may be harder and scratch the piece.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Which is what I did.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just using some Yorkshire Grit Microfine on this just to denib the sand and sealer. I could use a Webrax pad, but I'm going to use some Microfine, and this shouldn't take off, if any, too much of the colour.
I was going to ask, do you use the microfine instead of the original so that you don't lose the colour?
Yeah, if I was using a Webrax pad, I'd be using the orange one, which is sort of the equivalent grit of around about 1200.
Barry
this-
said 97 in Wayne.
Oh, Grant, excellent. My God, on a lunchtime.
Paul Smith says, question for Mark. Have you any idea where I could buy a 20-litre pressure pot, good quality for taking airbrushes?
Yes.
Oh, where's the question gone?
House
Taking
of
out of
Resin.
air bubbles. House of Resin. Yeah, House of Resin, yeah.
houseofresin.co.uk. I'll put the link in. Hold on.
But they do go under a different name as well. I can't think what it's called. But House of Resin is the one you want to go by, yeah.
They're not cheap.
No, they're not. I think they're about £200 for a 10-litre one, I think. £250 maybe.
Yeah,
for a 10-litre one. But they're good. They're good pots, so.
I think you said last night they were 250, Jamie.
Yeah.
When you were last night.
Yeah, I think but they are good pots, so that's the thing. They've all got the proper hooks and seals and all that kind of stuff on them.
You could look for a paint pressure pot, but
that's a lot of adjusting and all that kind of stuff.
You've actually got to convert them if you're using a paint pot.
I Love Wood Turning Adam has said this is the first time I've ever seen anyone use Yorkshire Grit and Martin's colours, and it's brilliant. They helped each other. Martin and Glyn helped each other develop products. They worked in conjunction with each other. They work beautifully together. Both products.
So Yorkshire Grit and Hampshire Sheen High Gloss are known as a partners in shine.
Yep. Hence the Grit and Sheen Facebook group.
I'm just using some microcrystalline wax just to finish off.
Ian B says 97 watching. That's because we're all stuck at home.
There we go.
That's I think that's going to be one of my investments this month is a pressure pot, so I can start casting all these bells that I've got.
All these bells. You're just showing off now, JP.
Well, I've been saving these bells for years.
So there's the bottom.
You've just had a super chat from
Very
EMP.
nice. Was it a practice piece?
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Very nice. You talking about the bowl or his hand?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Because he is a well-known he's world-famous international hand model.
Yeah.
Mark Stroughton says he bought a paint pressure pot and converted it. 15-minute job and it works fine. Held the pressure overnight. Yes, you can go down that route.
Yeah, there are good videos online of
loads of good videos.
Jake Thompson's got a good one.
I think you all know how fond I am of turning resin.
Oh yeah, you love it.
Yeah, I've got a paint pressure pot as well, which is half converted at the moment. I've just got to buy some more gauges and taps. Bought it ages ago. 25 quid it cost us.
David Bamford's asking, what's the reason for using an iWeb as opposed to Yorkshire Grit?
Right. When you put sand and sealer on ordinarily, what you've got to do is actually knock the sand and sealer back. Now, if you use Yorkshire Grit, you don't have to knock it back with the God, I can't find the bloody piece now. There we are. You don't have to knock, if you use Yorkshire Grit, you don't have to knock it back with one of these. This is the purple one, equivalent grit of around about 600. But if you don't use Yorkshire Grit and you put sand and sealer on, you've got to actually knock it back. You've got to denib it. and make the piece smooth again. And this is the best type of thing to use to do that.
They're just normal. They're just normal kitchen washing up things, aren't they?
Well, the kitchen washing up ones.
The green ones are about 400 grit.
Green ones, they're equivalent grit to around 240.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, if you buy them from Chestnut Products, you get the green one, the purple one, the orange one, and the white one. The white one is probably well over 2,000, the equivalent to well over 2,000 grit.
Right.
Quick question from John Hayes. Like furniture making, they wet the wood to raise the grain first, then sand. Can that be done for turning a piece? Yes. Some people do it.
Some people do it. I think you're doing the equivalent thing by using sand and sealer. The advantage of using sand and sealer is that it actually stays on the grain and keeps everything pressed down.
Yeah, it stabilizes the fibers of the wood.
Yeah.
Twisted Trees has given you a super chat for multi-ready, he says.
Cheers, Pete.
Daniel Dubois in. Hi, Tournage Dubois.
Hello.
Have a look and see how much further I've got to go on that. There's a bit here. Goes down a fair way here. I'm going to be losing a bit of depth on this. And that looks like still some. Grand.
Bill's in. Hello, Bill. Says good morning from Alabama. Howdy.
Hello, Bill. Bill says we get up too early. Or do you get up late?
Right, so I'll get the top coloured before I take the bowl out. So again, I'm going to sand it to 400, starting off with 60. And the other thing to remember is when you're doing this sort of shape, this edge here, the out edge is very, very sharp. So watch your fingers and also sand it a wee bit.
So Mark Ballantine says he uses meths to raise the grain, dries a lot quicker than water, and also cleans the dust off. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I did that after I sanded the bottom. Seeing as how it's having stain on, I used meths.
Or denatured alcohol.
Tournage Dubois says, so don't lick that edge clean, is what you're saying then, Wayne.
Exactly. Unless you want to be one of these people who speaks with forked tongue.
Douglas Mungham's in, said sorry he's late.
Hello, Douglas.
So stand in the
corner.
Hi, Douglas. Go on. Stand in the corner.
That's 120. I haven't got any tear out on there, so that's grand.
Good tool presentation then, Wayne. We've come to expect nothing less from you, sir.
That's a 240. Yeah, that's the 400. And go back and
Right, Mike Yu's got a question.
yeah,
Something puzzling me about resin. I've seen people pour resin between two planks to make a resin river table. Clearly they don't use a pressure pot. So why use one for turned pieces?
right. The reason behind that is a lot of the resins that are used for river tables and things like this, especially developed for a thin pour. And all you need to do with them is run a blowtorch over the top until all the bubbles go away, because it's not a very thick pour. Whereas people who are using resin for turning, for the likes of bowls and vases and things like this, it tends to be a deep pour. And sometimes what happens is that the resin can start curing that fast that the air bubbles actually get trapped. Now, when you're using the pressure pot, a lot of people think that you're actually getting rid of the air bubbles. You don't get rid of the air bubbles when you're using a pressure pot. But what you do is actually compress the bubbles that small that they can't be seen, which is why the resin appears clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Alumilite Clear Slow. That can be done in like bucket loads.
Yeah.
That's a casting resin, whereas you've got tabletop resin, you've got river. Actually, I think Alumilite have actually they've actually got a tabletop, not a tabletop, a river table resin now as well.
Right.
They've actually developed one for specifically for river tables. E&B question: I may have missed a bit, but if you use microfine to knock off the sealer back, can you use a high gloss straight on top?
Yes.
Yes.
I did. Well, I used a microcrystalline wax straight on top.
I'm a bit worried about that hashtag, Mark. Sausages for Mark.
Well, Mark Stoughton says he can smell sausages cooking, so he thinks it's time to get up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fix fizzling sausages.
Sausages.
Sausages. Walls. Remember that dog, that advert?
Yeah.
Walls. This is making me want to break out my airbrush. I haven't used that for ages. I think the rippled sycamore was the last time I used it. That was ages ago. First and last time I think I used that.
Todd says sausages for Mark. Sounds awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't really think that one through, did I?
You should listen to some of the chats we have. It gets really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an understatement. Inside void, outside voice.
Yeah. We have to apply better filters.
James Cassidy says, my lunch is also ready, as loud voice just reminded me again. So better go. Cheers, folks. Take it easy, James.
Cheers, James. 98 in, Wayne.
Thank you. For a lunchtime, I am well chuffed with that.
Douglas Mungham says, afternoon, Drilly.
99. Go on, folks. Let's see if we can get over 100.
I tell you, if I can get over 100 on a lunchtime, that'll make my weekend. That will totally.
Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys.
Show YouTube that you appreciate what Wayne's doing for everyone.
And Super Chat do that.
Oh, stupid person.
What have I done now?
No, not you, me.
Have you spilt the stain again?
No, mind you, it was probably Mark's fault anyway because he didn't remind us.
Okay. Yeah, why not? It was my fault Jamie ruined his bowl the other day.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it was.
It was. You told me to put that colour on.
It was your fault for listening to me.
Actually, it was Wayne's fault for disappearing and leaving me to let you do.
Actually, yes, it was. Ultimately, yeah, it was Wayne's fault for going off.
Now, JP, remember.
In my defence, I was left unsupervised.
No, remember back, JP, I did say to you, don't trust anything that Mark says when it comes to colouring, mate.
Very true. Very true. John Hay says, Wayne, are you going to turn an egg for Easter?
No.
There you go. Straight up.
There you go. Ask a question,
Nick the
get an
Flame
answer.
Returner says, right, gonna shoot, need to go and get ready to do the food shopping. Take it easy, Nick.
Buy something nice.
Gerard the French Turner's got a question. If you were to get a branch of yew seasoned, 2 inches wide, 12 inches long, what would be your project? My brain has gone to sleep and I cannot fathom what to use it for. 2 inch by 12 inch. Bit thin.
What was them French things that they were talking about the other day? Them really long stem things.
The trombo.
I don't think you would be any good for that. What I would make, I would make a long-stemmed goblet. That's what I would make.
A really long finial.
Yeah. Oh, or a really long finial to go on quite a big vase. But yes, a long stem goblet is where I'd be going with that. Right, what am I doing now? Right, what I'll do now, rather than put sand and sealer on at the moment, I'll wait until I do the bowl part.
Or a wand.
The wand, yep. Could do a wand. Benjamin's asking, Wayne, with the Simon Hope hollowing jig laser camera doodah thingy, if you change tool from a 19mm bar to something else, do you have to reconfigure it all again?
Yes.
Yes, you would. Changes the diameters, doesn't it?
Well, it's not only that, but you're not necessarily going to be getting it because once you get it set up, it's set up for that length of bar. If you're putting a different bar in there, you're going to have to reset it up so you get the length of the bar to the right place.
Very true. John Hayes says, is there a species of wood you haven't worked with?
There are loads of species of wood that I haven't worked with because a lot of them now you can't get because they're protected, not allowed to be brought down. I have turned a hell of a lot of exotics. I've turned a hell of a lot of native woods, hardwoods, but there's still a hell of a lot out there that I haven't been anywhere near yet. Right, I think this needs something else. So I think what I might do is put a couple of bits of decoration just in those two places there. So I'm just going to use one of my cheapo carbides.
I would agree with you, Wayne, but what do I know?
Well, he's not colouring, so you're all right.
And if it looks rubbish afterwards, let it be known it was Wayne's idea.
He must have been influenced by you, though. He wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Right, I think I'll just do one more cut.
Barry's still going Bernie. Yeah,
well, I still haven't seen that example that he did last night that he supposedly
he's hiding it. He's hiding it.
I don't think he burns anything, to tell you the truth.
Pictures already didn't happen.
Yeah, I think, to tell you the truth, I think he's scared of burn, and that's why he wants everybody else to do it.
Pepe Le Burn.
I do have to say publicly, thank you very, very much, Barry, because bless him, after my complaint the other night about having to buy a blowtorch, he did give me a little donation for the beer fund. It was very, very kind of him. Thank you very much.
Douglas Mungham wants to know, Wayne, could you have used a texture cutter on top of paint?
Yes, you can. You've just got to be a little bit careful that you don't raise up too much grain when you're using the texture cutter, because sometimes when you're using the Robert Sorby texture tool, you've got to sand it back a wee bit. So you've just got to be a little bit careful when you're doing that. You're actually better off doing the texturing and then putting the colour over the top. I've done a few like that. If you have a look at some of the stuff that Jeff Hornung has done from the walnut log in America, some of the stuff that he's done with that type of work is absolutely amazing.
Barry says that it's ash. I'm guessing he's talking about the pyrography piece that he did. So I'm guessing he did mess it up quite a bit.
Well, he said he did last night, that he'd messed it up.
There's a question for you there, Mike.
Mike?
There's a question from Mike for you, Mark.
Mark, yeah. How much do pen tubes vary in size? Massively. I don't really understand the question. Different kits have different size tubes.
Yeah, they go from 7mm up to 10, I think. Maybe even bigger than that.
They do.
13s for the really big ones, I think.
Yeah.
Every kit, or most kits, have different size tubes. Some share the same size tubes. But, yeah.
Like
some kits have 2 different size tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Amiga has a thin and a thick.
Tournage de Bois says, is that a piece of Abranet on a Velcro piece?
No, yeah, it's not Abranet. It's a cheapo Productions, which is absolutely awful, and I'm just using it up.
There you go.
It's not made for Turner. The Velcro isn't strong enough, and it also the abrasive delaminates. I just happened to see it on a website one time, and I thought that's fairly cheap. I'll buy that, and it's absolute pants. So I'm just using it up and getting rid of it. Then I'll start using my good stuff again. Right, so we'll cover this. This is the inside's been sanded to 240. Obviously the outside's been done to 400, then being coloured. So I'm just doing acrylic sand and sealer over the top. And I'll just wipe a bit of the excess off that. And what I'll do, I'll use Yorkshire Grit Original on the inside, and I'll use Yorkshire Grit Microfine on the rim. Because what I don't want to do is actually take off too much of the colour on the rim using the original. So I'll just use that on the inside of the bowl. Give it a good rub in. Turn the speed down. And I'm just rubbing it in using the piece of paper that I put it on with, just to get the abrasive part working. At home when you're doing this, do this for a couple of minutes. It really gets the abrasive to start wearing down and become finer. And then you can start increasing the speed. Get a clean piece of paper. Do it again. Keep it working it in. And as you're doing that, the abrasive gets finer and finer. And you keep on doing this until the paper comes away clean. And once the paper comes away clean, that shows that the Yorkshire Grit is done at work and all the abrasive is being used up. And you will have the equivalent grit of around about 1,000 grit.
Alex Lambie's got a good question. Could you have used cellulose sanding sealer?
Oh yes, yeah. You can use any sort of sand and sealer you like. It's just that I happen to, the closest thing to hand for me today happens to be the acrylic.
Do you want to explain the different kind of sealers over sanding sealers over the coloured stains?
Right. Usually, when you're doing a watercoloured stain, I haven't done this today because it's been a while since I've done this, but usually when you're using a water-based stain, you're better off using a cellulose sanding sealer because it'll not make the stains run together. Now, all mine are blended in anyway. When you're using a spirit-based stain, you're better off using an acrylic sanding sealer because of the same reason. It'll not blend the colours in together. You can get from Chestnut Products a chart which tells you which type of their products go together and can be used together. Terry from Chestnut tends to say that it doesn't matter what type of sand and sealer you use with spirit stains, but I tend to stick to the rule of thumb of cellulose sand and sealer when using water-based stains, and acrylic sand and sealer when you're using spirit-based stains.
Pete from Twisted Trees makes a very good point, Wayne. He says, I find that Yorkshire Grit works better if you give it 12 minutes between applying and working in. Coincidentally, it takes me 12 minutes to go to the house, make a coffee, and return to the workshop.
Now, the Yorkshire Grit Microfine, which I've put on here, has a starting grit of around about 1,000 and a finishing grit of around about 2,000 or just over 2,000.
Wood dude's in. Late. He says, oops, late again. Stand in the corner.
I've just seen Barry's picture. Yeah, he went a little bit over the top. That elephant's a bit burnt. At least I know it's an elephant.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a giraffe.
Yes, Barry. Yeah, that's yes. Yes, well, what can we say? That's burnt.
Someone else has put. I thought they poached elephant, not grilled them.
Oh, that's awful.
I don't know if that grilled, that's barbecued.
And we'll just finish off again with some microcrystalline wax.
Gerald, the French trainer, goes. He knows a website in England. 5 kits for around £5. That's good.
What sort of kits? Pen kits?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
slimlines, I would imagine.
They'll be slimline.
Yeah, not great kits. You want to go to Taylor's Murfield and use the Aries or something like that. They're great kits.
The
Turn
Aries,
between centers, so you don't have to buy a mandrel. You can
the
start making
Athena,
pens really cheap.
Beautiful
the
looking
Epsilon.
pens.
If anybody is starting out doing pen turning, I would really recommend not getting slimlines.
Yes.
Slimline pens are horrible.
They're a two-piece, and they're a hell of a lot harder to do than the one-piece pens.
Yeah.
One-piece pens, yeah, a bit more expensive, but they're a better quality pen. And if you're going to sell them, you can probably charge more for them.
Leroy 500's got to go. See you later, Leroy.
Take it
See
easy,
you,
Leroy.
Says he loves the bowl, Wayne.
Thank you. Well, there we go.
I'm glad my mum ain't watching shit. It could cost me a fortune. Very
Now,
nice, mate. Very
the
nice.
bottom's a wee bit darker than the top. The colours have blended into more of an orange with a wee bit of black in on the top, but I still like it. Right, I'll change
Very
camera.
nice.
I'll come. Thank you, JP. I'll
Yeah,
come
that's
back
beautiful.
to the camera once I move this stuff out of the way, so I can get my keyboard up as well.
Procraft are another good company to get the pen kits from.
I
Yeah.
don't know why it keeps on doing this. Come on. That's it.
There you go.
There we go. See if I can do this without getting any reflection. There you are.
Very nice.
Yeah,
The
you can see the
ripple in that
ripple in it. Yeah.
The ripple is gorgeous, yeah.
Nice shine to it.
Yeah, very nice.
So there we go, guys. That's us for today. Come along to the quiz tonight. It should be good for a laugh. It usually is good for a laugh. I think the plan is we're going to start beating people up who try to cheat in the chat. So that's on tonight. I think Nick will have a premiere about 7:30. He usually does. Stace will be on live at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, Rob CP. I don't know, I'll bring the guys in. Tomorrow, Rob CP will be on at lunchtime, I believe. I don't know if anybody's got a premiere later on tomorrow afternoon.
Don't know.
Nick will be live. Nick the Flaming Turner will be live at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Die Proud probably be on later tomorrow afternoon.
All right, okay. Di will be on.
Making a better life.
Yeah. Sunday, Steve will probably be on at 1 o'clock. Steve SK Crafts. I believe Dale might be doing a pop-up sometime Sunday afternoon, showing off the God, which store was it? The one he's just redone.
Delta.
Dale's just done a rebuild project on a Delta scroll saw, so he's going to show that it works. Tomorrow evening, any premieres live? Sunday, I'm out of touch now.
Hodgepodge, 6 o'clock.
Right, Hodgepodge at 6. Got Makers International at 9:30, hosted by our very own JP and Chris Cute, and well, I'm not very sure Richard.
Richard will be back. Yeah.
Oh, Richard will be on this week. Following that, JP will have a premiere at 11, and young Caitlin will have a premiere at 11:15. And
Terry's
then,
just said in the chat, don't forget today, Martin Saban Smith's
oh
giveaway.
yeah, Martin, for any of you who entered the draw,
7:30, isn't it?
products, I think he's going live at 7 o'clock. I saw it on Facebook this morning. I think he's going live at 7 o'clock to do the draw. And whoever the lucky winner is will be very lucky because it's around about 600 quid's worth of Hampshire Sheen products. It is only for, in fact, we'll pass the entry date now. The entry finish was 12 o'clock today. It was only open to people in the UK because of postage and everything.
Logistics and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
So, great prize for anybody to win. Is Jennifer still in? Are you still in, Jennifer?
Probably.
Mark is, by the looks of it.
Right. I was just going to ask if our lid had arrived.
I don't know. Look at the inside chat, Wayne.
Hang on.
Douglas says, Mark, are you hungry?
Yes. Do that, Wayne.
What? What, is that in the private chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I tell you, I'm getting worse. Right. What JP was referring to there is that JP has very kindly edited one of my lives. It was the ash box with the oriental lid. Jamie's edited that, so it's gone from being around about an hour and 8 minutes down to around about 12 minutes 30 seconds. I will be putting that out as a premiere. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll put that out as a premiere on Sunday evening before the before Makers International. So I'll put it out about 8:30 as a premiere. JP did all the editing. I've just updated the description and I chose the music. So don't get on a JP about the music. That was my fault.
What we're going to do is we're going to make this a regular thing. So I'm going to start editing all of Wayne's lives down to videos, and we'll start putting it out as a regular video on a Sunday. So
and what I'm going to do is
Wayne's going to pick all the music.
Yeah, I'm going to pick all the music.
Not my fault.
And I'm also going to have a go. I've downloaded the free version of the editing suite that JP's got, because my editing suite is pants compared to his. So I'm going to have a go at editing myself, and we'll see how we'll go. But yeah, Sunday I will put up a premiere of that at around about 8:30.
Jennifer says, yes, she's here.
Oh, excellent. Well done. For people who didn't know, Jennifer won the Taylor's Murfield raffle.
Oh, nice. That massive lathe.
Yeah, the big lathe. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Jennifer won that.
Very nice.
Very nice, Jennifer.
Joe's in. Says sorry she's late.
Hiya, Joe.
Hiya, Joe.
Stand in the corner.
She's not late. She's early for the quiz.
Yeah, she's early for the quiz.
No, I was just the reason I was asking Jennifer is just to see if the lathe had arrived. Very well done on that one. I'm not jealous at all.
She said no, she didn't win the lathe. I didn't think she had. She hadn't drawn the lathe yet. No, there were two draws. One for prizes and one separate one for the lathe.
Oh, sorry.
She won a mandrel set.
Right, all right. Oh, bugger. I thought you'd won the lathe.
Oh.
No, I think he's drawing the lathe on the 30th or something later this month.
Oh, right. Okay. Fine. Right. On that note, seeing as how I've probably disappointed Jennifer. On that note, I will press the button and say goodbye. Have a good weekend, everybody, and I really appreciate you coming along.
Mm-hmm.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Take it easy, everybody.